Hey, tapping into virtues. Today we're going to concentrate on the topic of forgiveness, taking into consideration that we're all spiritual beings in a body trying to do the best we possibly can, not condoning the effects of wrongdoings, just taking self-accountability of our own actions. We cannot take responsibility for other people's actions, we can only take responsibility for our own. So, connecting up, 300 feet up, 150 meters up, imagining that there's a ceiling of energy, and just connecting up our tops of our heads into that energy, bringing it down through us like a waterfall of energy, washing through, going through our bodies, connecting our feet to the center of the earth where we see, sense, or feel a ball of energy. The purpose is just to ground ourselves and allow the energy to flow freely. Both energies, one energy, bringing it back to our hearts, shining it around ourselves like a lighthouse and pushing it out like bubblegum. We're spiritual beings in a body, we have no edges. The virtue of forgiveness. So picking one part in our body where we feel not in congruence with the virtue of forgiveness, that I forgive myself for whatever reason, would have, could have, should have. So pick an age, a space in our body where we feel this discomfort. On a scale of 0 to 10, I forgive myself. I was just doing the best I possibly could. And if I could have done better, I would have. And going from there to a space of peace and neutrality. No judgment here. We're not here to judge ourselves, just to move this energy out of us. Starting with the side of the hand. This would have, could have, should have story. This would have, could have, should have story. I have this would have, could have, should have. If only I would have, if I could have, I would have done differently. Energy sitting in my body from whichever age. Pick the youngest age you can find and then work through all the ages, or pick an age that's recent. So I have this would have, could have, should have energy sitting in my body. I wish I could have done differently. I wish I would have done differently. And if only I could have done differently, my life would not be the way it is today. Would have, could have, should have. Wonderful choice of words. This would have, could have, should have energy sitting in my body. That I gave it space to take up space in my body. Would have, could have, should have. The past. That it is what it is, the past. If I could have done differently, I would have done differently, and I should have made different choices. That's just the point, isn't it? That at that moment in time, wherever I was in my journey as a spiritual being in a body, that was the best possible decision I could make. Because if I could have done differently, I would have. And from a lack of tools, we work from where we're at. So this journey, this would have, could have, should have story that I have sitting in my body. I wish I could have done differently. I should have done differently. And if only I could have done differently, I would have. Choices. At that moment in time, I made the best possible choice I could have based on where I was in my journey as a spiritual being in a body. And if I could have done differently, I would have. So I ask myself now, in this memory of my childhood, and if I look at this memory, am I able to look at it from a space of forgiveness for myself? Am I able to look at myself and say, you really did the best you could? Yes, other choices could have been made, But that moment in time, you made the best possible choice you could. And I am not talking about hurting other people. I am talking about the choices we made with regards to decisions in our lives and how we can do better. So this forgiveness energy that I seek to tap into, this forgiveness virtue that I seek to tap into, to forgive myself so that I can actually get out of whatever hole I'm sitting in and see the light and climb out and take action. That is the whole purpose of seeking to tap into the energy of forgiveness. Rather than being in a debilitating state, I choose to see options and choices that at that particular moment in time, if there had been other choices and alternatives, and if I had been a more aware human being, I would have made different choices. Take a deep breath. My choice, my decision, where I was the best possible choice and decision that I could be at that time. If I could have done differently, I would have. I should have done differently so that I could move myself differently, and today would have been a different day. But who knows? The only way to fix the past is to fix the present. And so that is what I choose. I choose to fix the present. I choose to look at the journey that I've walked, in all the spaces that I've walked, and to say I did the best I possibly could. Yes, I wish I had been more aware. Yes, I wish I had made better choices. Yes, I wish I had made more informed decisions. But at that moment in time when I had to make that decision, whatever that choice was, that was the best I could possibly do. Am I proud about it? Probably not. And that's why I need to fix and I need to clear that energy out of my body. That I no longer give permission for this energy of lack, of berating, of chastising, of criticism that's sitting in my body based on the past that I cannot change because I am no longer that age, whatever age it was. But I can change today. That is a choice I make today. That I choose to accept, to be able to forgive myself. That forgiveness is a choice. And I no longer choose for this poison to sit in my body. So I choose to release it wherever it is sitting in my body. To forgive myself. And to walk this journey with myself from a space of integrity. If I could have done any differently, I would have done differently. And that is all the story. It's just a story that I wish I could rewrite, but I can only write the present. And that is a choice I give myself, a choice of action. That I rewrite the present story, that it will never look like the past. Because I'm not the same person, nor will I ever be. Because I am the person that I am today by choice. And I seek to forgive myself for whatever the journey was, whatever the story I bought into, whatever the reality I chose to accept, as to not having a choice and not making a choice and not moving forward. That was that reality at that time, but right now there is choice. When it is safe for me to move forward, I move forward. I take accountability for my choices and I move forward. Because my life matters, my story matters. What I leave The trace I leave behind in this world matters. Who I am matters as a spiritual being in a body. And that is the purpose that I seek for this energy of forgiveness to fill up my body and my soul. And so whoever this story is that I bought into, that it is not possible, it's just a story. And when I feel safe and when I'm able to, I just take into account where I am, go through the ages of where this story is that I told myself that I couldn't forgive myself, and tap into walking into the possibility of giving myself the opportunity of forgiveness. What would it look like, this possibility of forgiveness for myself? That I take myself into account every single day as to who I am as a spiritual being. And I walk this journey in integrity with my spirit and my soul. And that is the bounty of this journey, that I am a spiritual being in a body. That I choose to let go of wherever it is that's sitting in my body and no longer take space. I choose to fill up that space with the energy of forgiveness. That it is safe, right, and good for me to forgive myself. And if in any way this involves hurting other people, then I stop, and I stop now, because there is no excuse for doing that. So on a scale of 0 to 10, looking at where we were at the scale before and seeing the scale come down, play back the video until the scale goes to a 0. And if we choose to switch the story over to forgive other people for what they did or didn't do, or what we think they did or didn't do in our lives, to tap through the story using the same video, just tap through the story instead of me, you use them. So that by forgiving them, we allow that pain that we've stored in our hearts, in our stomachs, gut, in our head to be released and no longer hold space. Because when we choose not to forgive someone else for something that we have perceived that they did to us, it's us that hold the stuff in our bodies. And it causes us a dis-ease. So if this video has been helpful to you, please comment, please like, please share, please subscribe, and make suggestions as to what are the virtues you would like for me to work on. And let's walk this journey together as spiritual beings in a body, tapping into virtues. I thank you for this honor of walking this journey with me. Blessings to all of you.